I was 3 years old and saw Chuck Berry on television, and it was like, okay, that's that. And that's pretty much unwavered since then.
I think I came out of the womb wanting to be an actress.
I was a journalist, and I started making a documentary in my early 20s. And I remember I called my parents 2 weeks after I started it, and I said, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
I was 9 when I told everyone that's what I was going to do. My uncle's an actor, and I spoke to him about it, and he said, come back to me in 10 years if you still want to do the same. But I came back to him like every other week.
I think when I realized I wasn't going to be a professional basketball player, which was around the age of 12.
Probably from like the moment I was like probably like 3 or I could talk. I just needed attention. So I was just like, when I was in a family of 6, so I was just like, wait, I'm here, pay attention.
My mom used to play a game with me, which I barely remember. She'd say, do you want to be a fireman? And I'd say, no, I'd get hurt. You want to be a policeman? No, I'd get shot. Do you want to be a cowboy? No, I'd fall off the horse. When she said actor, I didn't have an answer.
I never had the moment when I realized that music was like what I wanted to do with my life. I just remember realizing when I was a kid that not everyone else loved music like I did. That I was not weird, but that it was part of my character and my personality. It wasn't like something universal.
I don't know how to do anything else as well, so it's worked out well so far.
When I saw Richard Linklater's Slacker, that was the moment that I was like, I want to be a filmmaker. I've met many people over the course of the last 22 years who were like, because of Clerks, I wanted to be a filmmaker, and so Richard was my guy.
When I was a kid, I had birthday parties where I would like give everybody a character description, and they had to show up in character, and we would enact like a murder mystery at my party. So I think it was always in me. I would get murdered at my own party, and then I'd dress up in a bald cap and glasses and come back and solve my own murder. It was a little bit of like an ego trip, I think, as a kid.
I was at the University of Connecticut in Storrs, Connecticut. It was the most miserable year of my life. And, UConn, whoop whoop, Huskies. I just didn't fit in at all, and so I literally spent every single night at home watching movies. I was like, I want to be a part of this. Whatever these people are doing, I want to go drop out of this school, go to another school, start making movies.
So I remember watching a movie and realizing that the little girl in it was an actor, and then that was her job, and she was like getting to hang out with all these people, and somehow something clicked for me, and I was like, oh.